Okay, so raise your hands if you're voting in the Florida primary election. Oh, look at you guys. You guys are good. So are you voting in the general election too? When is the date of that? Oh, anybody? Well, it's November 6th, so put that on your calendar because it's important. So this is the app I made for people who don't know when elections are and they want to vote for people in their community and they don't know anything about them, so they need some help. So this is the agenda. I'm going to talk about the context, go through the research, and then finally the design. My client is Pennsylvania because that's where I'm from, and their voter turnout is like horrendous, so they want to increase it, and that's the main challenge that I'm going to tackle, especially young voters too, because it seems that older people are a little more active in the political system. So why? 18% of registered voters in Pennsylvania cast ballots in the 2018 primaries. It's really bad. Like, why aren't people doing this? And the median age of voters is 62. So it's a lot of old people. So what's needed? On the UX side, we need easy to navigate. We need it to be mobile because a lot of millennial age people are always on their phones. It needs to be appealing to young voters, but also straightforward enough for anybody to use. So this is me. I'm a UX UI designer. I used to be an architect, and I enjoy playing guitar, and I like drinking beer, as many of you know. So this is the UX side of things. So research. Everything I did was drawn from this research, and it's pretty much the most important part of the process in UX design. So I took a look at the competitors, and there's a gap in quick but in depth. There's some really good resources out there, but they're dated and they're not that great to use. So user research, 129 surveys. So 92% of people voted for president, which I found that a lot talking to people, but only 41 was actually high in my surveys. It's actually lower, like nationally. So I asked, what would motivate you to vote? And people wanted quality info on candidates and easily know the date and time of the election. So that's what I did. So I did interviews, and 83% said a candidate's stance on issues was what was most important to them. So I tried to focus all my information on that. I made this diagram to create Inspired Arena. She's 23, and she wants to vote in the Pittsburgh, or she wants to vote in the PA governor election, is what she wants to do. But she doesn't know too much about it. So it's the day before the election. She sees an ad on Instagram for like one of the candidates, and she's like, oh crap, like I'm getting more politically active. I'm working in she works in the city planning department. She's like, I want to vote this year. I'm going to do it. But she doesn't really know how. So I'm going to help her out. So I did some brainstorming. So I did ideation, and these were the must-haves. I need to show the upcoming elections. Everybody needs to see the candidate info, the election date and time, the polling location, and I made a help me decide function if you don't want to even deal with any hassle. This is my lo-fi, taking through the process. I spilled coffee on it, so it happens. So 100% of people were confused by the first screen, 60% wanted more info on why they matched with my match feature, and 40% people thought it was a little abrupt going into my help me decide feature, which you'll see. So I fixed all that. This is my mid-fi. So on the mid-fi, I forgot to put the progress bar, and everybody let me know it. But for the most part, people liked how simple it was to use, so I was pretty happy. So UI, these are the competitors. A lot of great information online. It's just so much text, and it's kind of hard to navigate, and it doesn't really make the hassle any less of a hassle on finding out about elections. This is another one, just dated. It's not really fun to use at all, and some of the information is a little sketchy. So I tried to make something that was a little more fun, youthful, and I made a style guide based off of this, and people thought it was pretty clean and fun, which I was happy. And somebody called it hot dog chic, so that's what I went with. So this is it. So this is the the main screen. So you enter your address, and then you go, and it takes you to, are you ready to vote? Yeah, good job. So what's important to me? Because I just want to worry about what I want to worry about. So the environment, women's rights, LGBTQ issues, and marijuana. That's what I'm all about. So I want to vote in the PA governor election. So this will show you all the elections that are upcoming based on your address. So it shows you all the candidates. There's 3. So Donald Reagan, it populates like what you said in the beginning, like what's important to you. So marijuana, he supports the use of medical marijuana, but opposes use for recreational purposes. So I'm not going to favorite him. I'm going to go back, and I'm going to say, I don't feel like going through all this. Help me decide, please. So I'm going to answer a few questions to help me pick. Should we cut spending on Planned Parenthood? So you're going to see all my political leanings here. No, I don't think so. Do you think we should cut spending on solar energy? No, I don't think so. Should Pennsylvania legalize medical marijuana? I think so. Should they legalize recreational marijuana? Sure. Do you think the LGBTQ community should be protected from discrimination at the workplace? Yeah, I think so. And should the minimum wage be increased to $9? Yeah. So based off all of this, it matches you with the person who had the most similar policies to you, and it tells you why. Tim vetoed a bill into 2017 that aimed to cut funding to Planned Parenthood. Okay, cool, I like him. So I'm going to save him, and tell me where to vote. So it takes you to the address where you need to vote, because a lot of people forget. If you're only voting like every 2 years or 4 years. So yeah, now you know where to vote, and then you can go home. And if there's anything else, you can see the council meetings that are upcoming near you, propositions, and all the upcoming elections. And that's it. So next steps, test, build out the candidate tracker so it keeps you coming back to the app. There's really no reason to keep using it other than checking out election candidates. The calendar functionality, and do a web version. So thank you. And that's my website. Don't go to it yet because it's really bad right now. But you can catch me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I'm on there. So that's it.